Is everyone ready?
Yes, everyone will be there.
But how are we to pray and contemplate like this?
Just very
I don't
carefully.
dare even to send my choir out there.
We shall get used to it, all of us.
Come on,
We
acapella
must
groups
be
have been doing it for
thankful
ages.
for all of this, for each noise, each face that disturbs us here.
We shall start with the chancel, then gradually work our way from east to west. That's the way it's done, the way I was taught to do it.
I value your enthusiasm, my dear Mason, but so far we're only cleaning up. I haven't even considered hiring a master builder yet, neither you nor anyone else.
May I show you some drawings?
By all means.
Okay. The outline for the foundation. This is where construction begins. But for a layman, it might be hard to comprehend. The side view of the aisle walls. It helps to understand proportion. Maybe I should begin here. Frontal view of the church. It's less abstract than a floor plan. Could be a good place to start. Start with the elevation.
You look here first. Imagine you're standing in the centre of the nave looking at the wall. This is what you see.
Are those windows?
Right, but that's not all.
The clerestory windows light the nave from above. In size they make up 2/3 of the upper half. That's smaller than the arcade and twice the size of the gallery. Three windows above each arc of the arcade. No light will come through here. Behind them is a lean-to roof of the aisle. The bottom half is hardly a wall at all. It's a row of columns joined by arches. Light shines past the arcade into the nave.
On top are the clerestory windows. On the lowest level are the pillars of the arcade. They're joined by arches making up the bays. Through the archways you can see the windows in the aisle. Shall I go on?
Yes, yes, of course. I was just thinking. Keep going.
Starting right in the middle is the Tribune Gallery.
I can see you've put a lot of thought into this. I was just wondering, how long would this take to build? You can take your time with that answer.
Six to 8 with, or 8 to 10 with 60 masons, 15 with 30.
Well, that depends on how many people you employ. If you can afford 60 masons, you could build the whole church at once instead of working from east to west. That might take 8 years, maybe 10.
I wish my monastic officials had your ability to think ahead and calculate. Go on now, show me the rest of your drawing.
Show them the, this.
If you were facing the cathedral with the front wall torn down, you would see it like this.
Interesting. What's that, coming out from above the entrance?
I drew it almost impossibly high. I had to. The prior needs to be impressed. I won't tell him about the ceiling yet. He can never afford a curved stone vault, so a simple timber ceiling would have to do. It's either 3 halves or double the height of the nave. A higher tower is more impressive, but also more costly.
That's the tower, of course.
I thought so, but why is it right above the nave? Shouldn't it be closer to the transept?
Oh, don't be fooled. The tower is, of course, farther back, but one cannot show depth in a drawing.
Ah, of course. How high will it be?
3 halves of the nave.
3 halves of the nave.
That sounds reasonably modest. Tell me more about the nave.
The nave will be about 32 feet high and will appear even higher.
Drawing the eye heavenward with its loftiness.
Well said. A chamber worthy of God.
I always wondered how walls this high could hold up so well.
2 rounded topped archways, half the height of the nave. Their stone vaults surprise sword of the nave.
You recognize the aisles?
Of course, I've been in quite a few churches in my time.
Did you know then that their purpose is to support the nave?
Fascinating. I must say, you do know your craft, Master Builder.
Oh, butts. To a layman, they must look like wasteful knickknacks when they're really holding the walls together. Without buttresses and aisles, the nave would just crumble down.
The walls of the nave are held by the aisles and buttresses bearing the pressure from the side.
Very interesting. What about the other drawings?
It would be wise to stick to this drawing for now, else it might confuse them. Tower, nave, foundation. No need to mention the foundation, it's very deep and a lot of work, but I'd rather focus on the more impressive details. Buttresses, aisles, nave, roof, tower. I had to. The prior needs to be impressed. Oh.
Not many understand the importance of the aisles.
I can imagine.
No cathedral could stand without the buttresses and aisles.
Yes, you mentioned that already.
Tower. No.
The Lord will be satisfied with a nave like this.
That is only for the Lord to know.
Let me know when you've decided on the tower's height.
Well, first, I have to decide if you are even the right man for the job, haven't I?
Let's see. The roof, the aisles, foundation, the buttresses. Did I get them all? Yeah, that's all of them. Time for the floor plan.
When we walk around the site, we mark where the walls will be, the pillars, the doors, and buttresses. Now for that, we need a plan like this, to tell us where to place our pegs and string.
Is this how birds would see our church?
Exactly.
The chancel faces the sunrise in the east. I want it to be 4 bays long. Look impressive enough without costing too much. Transept gives the church its cross-like shape. Here it starts right in the middle towards the chancel. 2 bays, it's perfectly proportioned. The nave points west. It has 6 bays. That should be easy enough to understand.
The nave is on the left. It has 6 bays.
And the chancel?
The chancel will have 4 bays.
I can see the transept is 2 bays wide, so it will be 12 in total. It does look splendid, but isn't that rather small?
It would be smaller but not less impressive.
It would be smaller, but not less impressive.
I guess a small cathedral would be closer to our means. It is still also uncertain. Percy Hamley would support us with timber and stone, but how do we pay the workers? But only God knows if it will be enough. I don't suppose you have any idea how much this would cost.
£3,000 at the least. No more than £3,000.
I know exactly how much this would cost. It would be no more than £3,000.
I've spent the last few weeks working out the annual income of the Priory. Here's the answer. £300 a year. And we spend every penny. So, I need to find £200 a year. It doesn't sound so bad when you put it that way. You really want to build this cathedral yourself, don't you?
Yes, Father. I want you to appoint me Master Builder.
Why?
Because it gives meaning to a man's life.
Because he wants to give people hope.
Is that so? Then answer me this one last question. If people were to enter your church, what image would they see crowning the tympanum above the entrance? One of Judgment Day to teach people to be good? Or one of Paradise to remind them of God's mercy?
Show them hell, so that they're afraid to do bad things.
I'd rather see trees and animals.
Remind them of God's mercy.
It should be the promise of a better life. Therefore, it will show heaven.
Yes.
This is quite exciting, isn't it, brother?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Francis.
I'm just glad that I can be a part of this.
I'm
In
helping.
the past year, I was often afraid that my involvement in politics might turn out, well, let's just say that I'm glad that I can still be by your side, Philip. And for that, I thank God. And I thank you too.
Hey, no problem.
Papa, will there be statues inside?
Statues?
Oh. That's enough, children. It's time you went out and played.
Go play on the rocks.
Prior,
Yes?
my first wife, Agnes. She died without a priest, and she's buried in unconsecrated ground. Sometimes a man builds a chapel, or founds a monastery, in the hope that in the afterlife God will remember his piety. I just wonder, do you think my design might serve to protect Agnes's soul?
God no longer asks for blood sacrifices, for the ultimate sacrifice has already been made. But the lesson of Abraham's story...
He does take
God
cheeseburgers,
demands the best we have to offer. That which is most precious to us.
Beanie Babies?
So you must ask yourself, is this design the best thing you could offer?
Except for my children. Yes.
Then rest easy, Tom Builder. God will accept it.
I, however, am not paying you a cent. No. Contract of employment. Let's inspect it. Contract dated February 1st, 1136. I, Philip of Gwynedd, in representation of the Kingsbridge Priory, hereby assign Tom Builder as Master Builder for the construction of the Kingsbridge Cathedral. The Prior will provide £200 a year to be used wholly for materials and craftsmen. The pace of construction shall be adjusted accordingly and adhered to plans approved by the Prior. In exchange for his work, Tom Builder and his family are to receive a private house and the right to attend all common meals of the Priory. The contract is subject to change with the Prior's financials, and gives future prospect of additional payment to compensate for the Master Builder's work. Signed, Prior Philip of Gwynedd, Tom Builder. Tom can draw so well. I must watch him very, very closely. Until I can draw like that too. I don't like them. They always shout at me as if I was stupid. I'm not talking to them. Tom says it takes many years to build a cathedral, but only one night to burn it down. Did I do right? Where'd they put all the horses? There's Mother. There's Alfred. I think she's starting to like it here, even with all the noise. And the monks. Why is he so friendly all of a sudden? He hasn't hit me in weeks. Am I scaring him? Go talk to Mom.
Jack, do me a favour and give Paul these herbs, will you?
But he's a monk. You don't like monks.
Well, it turns out not all of them are bad. Still, be careful before you trust any one of them.
Well, your son already trusted me. Oh yes, I know that the builder is not his father, and I also know about you. It won't be long till they throw you out of Kingsbridge. Witch.
Jeez, man. No chill.
There he is! Give our prior the welcome he deserves!
Oh, you know, I am only following God's will.
Prepare to raise the bell! Make the prior proud!
Well, thank you.
Go on, Jack. Don't forget about Paul's herbs.
Of course not. Let's talk to Alfred.
Hey,
What are you doing?
I'm supervising. Tom asked me to. We see eye to eye now, you know. He asks me things and I can say yes or no.
Huh.
Hey, did you tell him that I had trouble with him?
Yes.
You bastard. I told you not to. I have to carve up some steaks later. If you want, you can help me.
Okay.
Or you can do whatever the hell it is you're doing all day. It's your call.
I may have pissed him off a little bit. They clapped their hands for Philip, as if they wanted everyone to hear that he was coming. So much noise. Let's check the pathway. He looks like an old tree. He thinks he's as ancient as the forest. One day I'll be just like him. Let's give him the herbs.
This is from my mother.
Oh, bless her. Boy, whatever Remedius says, your mother is a saint. Oh, is that the bell? Can you see it from here?
Yeah.
A bell without a cathedral. Your father certainly had strange ideas.
It might be. What's a bell?
Oh. There's our
Excuse
other
me.
main character.
You. I remember you. You're the boy with no father.
Actually, I have two fathers now.
Is that so?
Yes. Tom Builder and Jack Sherburg.
I thought you weren't the builder's son.
Well, I am now.
He adopted me.
I have to say,
Prior Philip told me there would be a lot of sheep here. I can see he wasn't exaggerating.
You know Philip too?
I do. He's the reason I'm here. Is he around?
He should be around somewhere. Busy man, that fellow. But don't worry. You probably won't have to look for him for long.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that guy.
Shall we go after them?
No. Now we know where we can find them.
Ha! Ho!
Can he see the doe?
My bishop, William Hamley, has returned to see you.
Send him in, Timothy. We have much to discuss.
Okay. I gave an optimistic estimation. I chose the image of paradise. I did not tell anyone about Francis's involvement. There's Lady Elenia. Bishop Whalern began scheming against Kingsbridge. And I finished book 1. Alright. So now we are officially in uncharted territory.
Next time on the Pillars of the Earth, find out what happened to me and my brother Richard after the siege of our father's castle. What will the future hold in store for Kingsbridge? The Pillars of the Earth, Sowing the Wind.